What as above, so below really means for your spirituality. Imagine this: you're standing at the edge of a vast ocean at sunset. The sky above you is painted with hues of orange, pink, and violet, and the ocean below reflects that same beauty, as if the two worlds, the heavens and the earth, are mirroring each other perfectly. In that moment, you might feel an unshakable connection to something greater, something infinite. This is the essence of the ancient Hermetic principle. As above, so below. At first glance, it might seem like a poetic metaphor, but the truth is, it's far more profound. This phrase is a doorway into understanding the interconnectedness of all things, a key to unlocking your spiritual potential, and a map for navigating the mysteries of life. Let's start here. What if I told you that the universe is not something outside of you, but within you? That every star, every galaxy, every swirling atom exists both out there in the cosmos and deep within your soul. This is what as above, so below is pointing to. It suggests that the macrocosm, the vast universe, and the microcosm, you, your thoughts, your emotions, are reflections of one another. But why does this matter for your spirituality? Because when you truly grasp this, you'll realize that the answers you've been seeking in the outer world have always been within you. Think about this for a moment. How often do we look outside ourselves for meaning? We search for validation in relationships, for purpose in careers, for happiness in material things. But what if the entire universe is encoded within you, and all you need to do is look inward? This is the first challenge of as above, so below. It invites you to see yourself not as separate from the world, but as a microcosmic reflection of it. When you understand this, you stop feeling like a small, insignificant part of the universe and start realizing that you are the universe, experiencing itself in human form. But this principle isn't just about self-reflection, it's about action. If the universe above mirrors the universe within, then every action you take in your inner world is mirrored in the outer world. Think about your thoughts for a moment. How many of them are filled with fear, doubt, or negativity? And how often do those thoughts seem to manifest in your external reality? This is no coincidence. The law of correspondence, which is above, so below, is rooted in, teaches us that the state of our inner world creates the state of our outer world. So, if you want to change your life, you must first change yourself. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you examined your inner world?
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
Not just your surface thoughts, but the deeper currents of your mind, the beliefs you hold about yourself, the stories you tell about your life. Most of us never do this. We live on autopilot, reacting to the world without realizing that our reactions are shaped by what's already within us. But here's the truth: the outer world is your mirror. If you see chaos, it's because there's chaos within. If you see love, it's because there's love within. This is the hidden power of as above, so below. It's not just a spiritual idea, it's a tool for transformation. Now, let's take this even deeper. What does it mean for your spirituality to truly live this principle? It means realizing that every experience you have, whether it's joy or pain, success or failure, is a reflection of your soul's journey. The challenges you face in the outer world are opportunities to grow in the inner world. For example, let's say you're struggling with a difficult relationship. Instead of blaming the other person or feeling like a victim, what if you asked yourself, what is this situation teaching me about myself? What part of me is being mirrored in this experience? When you approach life this way, every moment becomes sacred. Every moment becomes a chance to align your inner and outer worlds. But let's not stop there, because as above, so below also applies to the spiritual realms. Many of us think of the spiritual and physical worlds as separate, but they're not. Just as the sky reflects in the ocean, the spiritual reflects in the physical. This is why rituals, meditations, and prayers are so powerful. They're physical actions that create spiritual ripples. When you light a candle with intention, you're not just lighting a candle, you're aligning your physical action with your spiritual intention, creating harmony between the above and the below. Have you ever wondered why ancient traditions place so much importance on rituals? It's because they understood this principle. They knew that by acting with intention in the physical world, they could influence the spiritual world, and vice versa. So, how can you apply this to your life? Start small. Begin by paying attention to the connections between your inner and outer worlds. Notice how your thoughts shape your reality. Notice how your emotions influence your experiences. And most importantly, notice how your spiritual practices, whether it's meditation, prayer, or simply being present, affect your day-to-day life. This awareness is the first step to mastering the principle of as above, so below. But here's the real question: are you ready to take responsibility for your life? Because this principle asks you to do just that. It asks you to recognize that you are not a victim of the universe, but a co-creator with it. It asks you to stop waiting for the world to change and to start changing yourself. This is not easy. It requires courage, honesty, and a willingness to face your own shadows. But the reward is profound. When you align your inner and outer worlds, you become a channel for the universe's infinite potential. You become a reflection of the divine. As we close this first part, take a moment to reflect what is being mirrored in your life right now. What parts of your inner world are being shown to you in the outer world? And most importantly, are you willing to look within to find the answers? Because the truth is, the universe is always speaking to you through your thoughts, your emotions, your experiences. The question is, are you listening? The universe within, how self-discovery unlocks cosmic power. Let's go deeper. If as above, so below teaches us that the universe mirrors itself at every level, then the next logical step is understanding that the vastness of the cosmos, its mysteries, its beauty, and its power exists within you. But here's the paradox: before you can fully grasp the universe within, you must be willing to journey into the parts of yourself that you've ignored, avoided, or even feared. This is the essence of self-discovery. It's not just about finding your strengths or passions, it's about uncovering the hidden layers of your being, even the ones you'd rather not face. Let me ask you something. When you think of who you are, what comes to mind? Your name, your job, your relationships, maybe your likes and dislikes, your goals or your memories. But who are you beyond all of that? Who are you when you strip away the labels, the roles, and the stories you tell yourself? Most people never ask this question because it's uncomfortable. It forces them to confront the unknown. But here's the truth: the parts of yourself you've buried or neglected hold the keys to your spiritual growth. They are the hidden treasures of your inner universe. Think of it like this: the stars in the night sky are only visible because of the darkness. In the same way, the light of your soul is revealed when you explore the shadowy corners of your being. This is why self-discovery is so powerful. It's not just about becoming more aware of who you are, it's about integrating all parts of yourself: the light and the shadow, the above and the below. And when you do this, something extraordinary happens. You begin to see that the same forces that govern the cosmos also govern you. Let's break this down. The universe operates on certain laws, patterns, and principles that create order out of chaos. These include the law of gravity, the rhythm of seasons, and the cycles of birth, growth, death, and rebirth. What most people don't realize is that these same laws exist within us. For example, just as the universe expands and contracts, so do we. We expand when we grow, learn, or love, and we contract when we retreat, suffer, or heal. Just as stars are born and die, so too do our beliefs, identities, and experiences. Everything in the outer universe has a parallel in our inner universe. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. When you align yourself with these universal laws, you unlock a deeper level of power. You stop fighting against the natural flow of life and start working with it. This is why self-discovery is so important. It helps you understand your personal cycles, your unique rhythms, and your inner laws. And when you understand these, you can begin to live in harmony with the universe instead of feeling like you're constantly swimming upstream. Let's make this practical. One of the most powerful tools for self-discovery is reflection. Take a moment to think about the patterns in your life. Are there certain challenges that keep repeating, certain fears that seem to hold you back? These patterns are not random, they're messages from your inner universe trying to guide you toward growth. But here's the question: are you paying attention? Are you willing to sit with yourself long enough to decode these messages? For example, let's say you've noticed a pattern of self-doubt. Every time you're on the verge of something great, whether it's a new relationship, a career opportunity, or a creative project, you hesitate. You tell yourself you're not ready, not good enough, or not worthy. This pattern might seem like a flaw, but it's actually a mirror reflecting something deeper within you. What if that self-doubt is pointing to an old wound, a belief you've carried since childhood that says you're not capable? And what if, by facing this belief and healing it, you could not only break the pattern, but also step into your full power? This is the gift of self-discovery. It shows you that your greatest challenges are also your greatest teachers. The parts of yourself that you've rejected or judged are the very parts that can lead you to wholeness. And when you become whole, when you integrate your light and shadow, your above and below, you become a reflection of the universe itself. But let's take this even further. If the universe is within you, then so is its creative power. Think about the stars for a moment. They are born from clouds of gas and dust, from chaos and destruction. Yet out of that chaos comes light, energy, and life. The same is true for you. Your chaos, your pain, your struggles, your uncertainties is the raw material for your growth. The question is, are you willing to see it that way? Are you willing to embrace your chaos instead of running from it? Because when you do, you unlock your creative potential. You become the star, the light, the energy that can transform not only yourself but the world around you. And here's the most profound realization: when you discover the universe within, you realize that you are never alone. The same intelligence that moves the planets, grows the trees, and beats your heart is always with you, always guiding you. In every moment, you have access to this infinite wisdom. The only question is, are you listening? Are you willing to trust the unfolding of your inner and outer worlds, knowing that they are two sides of the same coin? As we close this part, reflect on this: what patterns or challenges in your life might be messages from your inner universe? What parts of yourself have you been avoiding, and what might they be trying to teach you? And most importantly, are you ready to embrace the chaos within, knowing that it holds the seeds of your greatest power? From stars to souls, the sacred connection between you and the cosmos. Take a moment to consider this: the atoms that form your body, the very building blocks of your flesh, bones and blood, were forged in the heart of dying stars billions of years ago. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen in your lungs, all of it came from the cosmos. You are not just in the universe is in you. This isn't just poetic, it's scientific. But it's also deeply spiritual. If the universe created you, then there must be a sacred connection between you and it. And understanding this connection is the next step in living the principle of as above, so below. Let's think about this for a moment. If you are made of the same elements as the stars, then doesn't it follow that you also carry their light? The stars are not just massive balls of gas burning millions of miles away, they are symbols of power, endurance, and creation. They are reminders that even in the vast darkness of space, light can exist, and within you, that same light burns. Your soul, your essence, is just as eternal, just as luminous. But how often do you recognize it? How often do you allow yourself to feel that deep, cosmic connection? Here's the truth: most of us live our lives disconnected from this reality. We get caught up in the mundane, in work, in routines, in endless to-do lists. We forget that we are part of something infinite, something profound. But the universe hasn't forgotten. It's constantly communicating with you, constantly reminding you of your connection to it. The question is, are you paying attention? Because the signs are everywhere. In the way the sun rises each morning and sets each evening, in the cycles of the moon, in the changing of the seasons. These are not just natural phenomena, they are reflections of your own cycles, your own rhythms. They are the above that mirrors your below. Let's bring this down to a practical level. How can you strengthen your connection to the cosmos? One powerful way is through observation. Go outside at night and look up at the stars. Really look. Let their light remind you of your own. Feel the vastness of the sky and know that it's not separate from you, it's within you. Or take time to watch the phases of the moon. Notice how it waxes and wanes, how it grows full and then retreats into shadow. This is a reflection of your own inner cycles, your moments of expansion and contraction, light and shadow. By observing the universe, you begin to understand yourself. But let's take this even further. If you are connected to the cosmos, then it also means that the intelligence that governs the universe, the intelligence that keeps the stars in motion, that orchestrates the orbits of planets and the blooming of flowers, is the same intelligence that flows within you. Some call it God, others call it Source, Spirit, or the Divine. Whatever name you give it, this intelligence is not something outside of you. It's within you. It's what breathes you, moves you, and guides you. And when you align with it, you tap into a power greater than anything you've ever known. This alignment isn't something mystical or far-fetched. It happens in the quiet moments when you meditate, when you pray, when you sit in stillness and listen to the whispers of your soul. It happens when you follow your intuition, when you trust the inner voice that nudges you toward your purpose. And it happens when you live in alignment with your truth, when your actions mirror your deepest values. This is the essence of as above, so below. When you align with the intelligence of the universe, you become a reflection of it. Your life becomes a mirror of its harmony, its balance, its beauty. But let me ask you something. Do you trust this intelligence? Do you trust that the same force that moves the stars also moves you? This is one of the hardest lessons of spirituality, to surrender to the flow of the universe, to trust that even in the chaos, there is order. But when you do, something miraculous happens. You begin to see the sacred in everything, in the challenges you face, in the people you meet, in the moments of stillness and silence. You begin to see that nothing is random, that everything is connected. And with this realization comes peace. A deep, unshakable peace that no external circumstance can take away. So, as we close this part, reflect on this. How often do you pause to feel your connection to the cosmos? How often do you let its light remind you of your own? And most importantly, are you willing to trust that the same intelligence that created the stars also created you, and that it's guiding you every step of the way? Becoming the mirror, living as a reflection of the infinite now, we arrive at the heart of it all. If as above, so below teaches us that the universe mirrors itself in every dimension, then the ultimate realization is this: you are not separate from the infinite. You are its mirror, its reflection, its living expression in human form. But this isn't just a nice idea, it's a call to action. To live as a reflection of the infinite means embodying its truth, its wisdom, and its vast potential in every aspect of your life. It means becoming the bridge between the cosmic and the personal, the spiritual and the physical, the eternal and the fleeting. Let's start with a question: what does it mean to truly live as a reflection of the infinite? It means recognizing that every moment of your existence is sacred. It means understanding that your thoughts, your words, and your actions are not meaningless. They are creative forces, rippling out into the world like waves in a vast ocean. Just as the stars shape the galaxies around them, you shape the reality around you. Every choice you make, every intention you set, is an act of creation. The question is, are you creating consciously or unconsciously? To live consciously as a reflection of the infinite, you must align your inner and outer worlds. Remember, the above mirrors the below. If your inner world is filled with fear, anger, or doubt, that will be reflected in your outer reality. But when your inner world is rooted in love, peace, and purpose, your external world transforms to match it. This is not just a spiritual concept, it's a universal law. What you radiate within, you attract without. So, the first step to becoming the mirror is this: cultivate the qualities within yourself that you want to see in the world. But this isn't just about personal growth, it's about service. When you live as a reflection of the infinite, you become a beacon for others. Your light inspires their light. Your courage sparks their courage. Your love awakens their love. This is how transformation spreads, not through force, but through reflection. Think about the people who have inspired you most in life. Chances are, they didn't just tell you what to do, they showed you what was possible by embodying it themselves. This is your role, too. By embodying the infinite, you give others permission to do the same. And yet, living as a reflection of the infinite doesn't mean striving for perfection. The stars are not perfect, they burn, they explode, they collapse. The universe itself is in a constant state of expansion and chaos, and so are you. To be a reflection of the infinite means embracing your humanity, your flaws, your imperfections. It means understanding that your mistakes are just as sacred as your successes because they are part of the larger whole. The infinite doesn't demand perfection, it demands authenticity. It asks you to show up fully, as you are, knowing that even in your messiness, you are divine. So, how do you begin to embody this truth? Start by seeing the sacred in the ordinary. When you wake up in the morning, remind yourself that the breath you take is the same breath that moves through all of creation. When you interact with others, see them not as separate from you, but as reflections of the same infinite source. When you face challenges, remember that they too are part of the divine plan, shaping you into the person you are meant to become. In every moment, ask yourself, am I reflecting love? Am I reflecting truth? Am I reflecting the infinite? But perhaps the most profound way to live as a reflection of the infinite is to surrender. Surrender to the flow of life. Surrender to the intelligence of the universe. Surrender to the knowing that you don't have to control everything, that the same force that holds the stars in the sky is holding you, guiding you, and working through you. When you surrender, you become the mirror effortlessly. You stop trying to be the light and realize you already are the light. As we close, let me leave you with this: the universe isn't asking you to be something you're not. It's asking you to remember who you already are, a perfect reflection of the infinite, a living embodiment of as above, so below. So, the next time you look up at the stars, remember this: they are not just above you, they are within you. and just as they shine, so can you. The question is, are you ready to step into the fullness of your light and become the mirror the world so desperately needs?